Hey, Chuckafucks, it's your boy, Dark Raku, here with another what if. Mostly it was kind of a suggestive what if, but I did thought about it a little bit. Pretty much this is called What If Issei Was the Quiet Kid? Yes, I'm doing this what if just because I thought of how hilarious it would be, and sometimes how also it was about to add like 3 other characters. Well, mostly towards Issei's kind of personality and abilities. Now, if you know what these 3 characters do, mostly what's it called? So if you know what Kugama does, or Tosho Inugami, or yeah, Togo Inugami, Inumaki, yeah, okay, Togo Inumaki. I don't know why I said Inugami. No, Inumaki and Zagre does. Then you know damn well that Issei is going to have those abilities, but a little bit different. If you can also see the thumbnail about a bunch of guns, you know damn well where this is going. But not the point. This will either be a one-shot or just continuing on. Or I might just change the title, I don't know. But I might just keep it. I don't know. Okay, so I should also mention that I do kind of do crazy what-ifs ideas they sound dumb enough for me to do them. But yeah, since I do that also on my first channel. But not the point. Besides, I did I think I did a what if learn to have creative mode one time in my first channel. Not the point. No. Let me just continue on with this what if and let me shut the fuck up. So we begin into a certain day. This certain day, there was, well, let me say that. On this certain day, there was a student right now sitting right now in front of the president. Well, mostly the council president. This is where, well, the person had kind of this like bluish, well not, yeah, he kind of had this like darkish navy blue hair with kind of these like white, silverish kind of stripes on his hair, mostly like these highlights. Of course, he has darkish blue eyes, and of course, he's wearing like this navy dark blue kind of outfit with a white shirt that was underneath it. Of course, he doesn't have it like properly needed that much, but yeah. Or what he does, you can barely see the white shirt because he doesn't have zipped it up, but yeah. Or buttoned up mostly. This is where, well, the person who is right now just looking at, well, the council president. And it's none other than Sona, but pretty much she has a fake name. Her name is, I don't remember her fake name, so I'm going to just call her Sarina. So, of course, this is Sarina, but it's pretty much Sona. She has like red eyes, of course, black hair, kind of like into a bowl cut. And of course, well, she is glancing at the boy known as Issei Hyodo. This is where, well, Sona says, or mostly, yeah, you just gotta know that her fake name is Sarina, while her real name is Sona. But of course, Sona says, Issei. This is where, well, Issei doesn't really answer to anything. This is where, well, she says, old class president. This is where he doesn't answer it. This is where she gets kind of a tick mark. This is where she goes on with different names to might be able to, for Issei to actually answer. He has his eyes closed and doesn't really answer to anything until she says, Kun. This is where, well, Issei opens his eyes and says, yes, Sayuna-chan. This is where, well, Sayuna's face becomes pinkish. Of course, she was already pink from the fact that she had to call him Kun. But of course, this is where, well, she kind of said, fine. Do you know what I'm here to talk to you about? Issei says, probably because of the fact that I didn't run for class presidents after we got to high school. This is where, well, Sona says, well, not exactly, no. I'm here to talk about the fact that those 2 perverted idiots keep running around, and you don't do anything about them. Issei just looks at her with a calm expression and just says, why would I do anything about it? Clearly, it's not my problem. What truly I am only hanging out with them is because, well, we're barely hanging out with them. Pretty much my role in this school is to be the quiet kid. You know, the memes that I kind of just showed you that last time? This is where, well, Sona just as a tick mark. Seriously? You're just gonna be shut the whole rest of the 4 years? Well, I mean, this is your second year, but still. You could at least help us? Issei says, no, you're the class president. And you're gonna be there for 4 years. Until you graduate, or until we both graduate. So come on, you can do it. I did it for 4 years in middle school. You can do it. This is where, well, Sona just gets annoyed with Issei. Issei is right now having this like cheeky kind of like grin in his like face when he's saying all that. And this is where, well, Sona sighs and says, seriously? Come on, Issei. Can you at least be my vice president? I know I have Tatsumaki, but still, I need help with this. Sorry, you ran for it. I didn't. This is where Sona gets a tick mark because Issei did clearly run for it. Clearly, he was about to win in a class president, well, mostly the whole council president thing. Of course, this is where Issei would have won easily in what's it called, Kuwa Academy. Because he had over, what's it called, 90, well, not 90, he had over 90 votes, while Sona only had 89. This is where, well, Issei was clearly going to win because, well, not 89. She had, she had 89 while Issei had about 95. He was clearly going to win with a couple of more votes if he got to 100, or mostly the votes would end. But of course, Issei, he saw that he was going to win, but instead he gave up. He lost. He did this on purpose. He basically sabotaged himself. And Sona knows this so damn well that Issei gave up. Now, of course, she's just regretting in actually going into the council president. This is where, well, she has a headache and is right now kind of rubbing her forehead and looking at Issei. Issei has this like evilish grin, but then he goes happy and says, Issei, I'm happy for you to become the council president. At least I don't need to deal with them. Now, if that's all you want to talk to me, council president, then I must be leaving. Issei gets up and Sona says, sit down. What? Issei was already standing up. He's a very kind of thin, well, mostly he looks kind of thin, and of course, he puts already his hand in his pocket and says, what? He's not really that thin, but he pretty much should look like Kawako right here. Fuck, I forgot his name. He pretty much just looks like Kumagawa. But yeah, this is where, well, he's just kind of smiling at her and saying, what? I didn't do anything. He's smiling in a kind of friendly look. And this is where, well, Sona says, can you please at least deal with the two perverts? This is where, well, Issei starts walking to the door, and this is where Sona says, Issei? This is where, well, Issei turns around and says, fine, I'll deal with them. But you probably won't like the outcome. Issei was right now smiling with this evilish grin at her, and this is where, well, Sona pales and says, wait, Issei, you don't need to. This is where Issei walks away. This is where, well, Issei opens the door and just closes it, and this is where Sona says, damn it, that idiot. Her face was a little bit pinkish still. Of course, this is where, well, we go into Issei going to go find the two perverts. Now, of course, he hears like a loud, well, help. Mostly, he's already outside, but he hears a loud help. And this is where, well, Issei says, I wonder what that is. This is where Issei goes to find them. And of course, mostly you hear where that help comes from. And this is where, well, he sees the swim club team actually chasing them and trying to beat the shit out of them. Even the Kendo class. Mostly the two perverts from original canon. This is where Issei sighs and says, those idiots. I wonder who was the one to bother, well, who to actually kind of bring those girls to chase them. I guess it's my turn to kind of intervene. This is where, well, Issei managed to block one of the swords from the Kendo, mostly the Kendo class. Mostly a girl with kind of pinkish hair. And of course, Issei just managed to catch it. This is where Issei says, sorry, I can't really let you hit those two idiots. Their punishment is only for me. And I'll have to punish them later. Now, you can leave. This is where Issei just throws the sword. Mostly, he pushes the Kendo sword away from his two friends. This is where, well, the girls kind of glare at him. And of course, they know that this is the leader of the two perverts, but he's not truly a pervert himself. Pretty much, he himself exactly is the opposite. He's more quietly than anyone else. He reads books, he doesn't look at any girls, he doesn't look at them with lust or anything. He's just very, very quiet. And of course, also, can care less about anything. Of course, no one really knows about his personality, his kindness. He barely talks, but right now he's talking. And of course, he says in a dark attitude. Of course, both of his friends are right now pailing because they aren't saved by Issei itself. Well, himself. Mostly isn't pissed off Issei. Now, of course, this is where they're shitting themselves and rather be beaten up by the kendo class and the swimming club team because they rather never fight a pissed off Issei. This is where, well, Issei kind of just says, "Kuh." Now, this is where Issei turns around and says, "Now you two, get up." This is where, well, they both nodded, right now shaking. And this is where, well, Issei says, "Get to the fucking classroom." This is where, well, they both nodded and starts kind of walking very fast, but yeah. This is where Issei sighs. And this is where he bows down, mostly apologizing towards the kendo and, well, mostly the kendo club leader and also the swim club leader. "Sorry about my two idiotic friends. And mostly in the behalf of both of them, I will apologize. May you need anything in the near future, just call me. Or just ask for me." This is where, well, Issei is being really polite. Now, of course, the kendo and the swimming club team really did kind of have pink faces, mostly almost all of them, because Issei is very polite and gentle. This is where, well, they really never noticed that Issei is like this type of person. Of course, this is where, well, Issei is very quiet and doesn't really care. I should also mention he has a hood on him most of the time. But of course, Issei right now didn't have his hood on and mostly showed his dark navy blue hair with white stripes of like hair on top of his head. Mostly around his head, but mostly around his hair. This is where, well, he had, well, of course, his navy blue kind of coat, his white shirt underneath, and of course his dark blue pants. Of course, he also has what's it called, these black shoes, but yeah. This is where, well, they kind of understand, mostly the girls understand. Of course, this is where Issei doesn't have his like scarf around his face. So of course they can clearly see his face. And he kind of looks pretty handsome most of the time for almost all the girls. This is where, well, Issei then gets up from mostly bowing down, apologizing to them, and starts kind of heading towards where those two idiots should have been at. This is where, well, Issei gets to the classroom as the swim team and also the kendo club kind of returns back to their club. Of course, the leader, who was named Catherine, I think her name was, I think that was her. I think she was a leader. I don't remember. But of course, she was kind of blushing. Issei caught her like kendo sword pretty easily. And the strength that he was actually kind of pushing her away and actually just catch that shit. Like, of course, no one should be able to catch a like swing from a kendo strike sword. But of course, Issei caught it pretty easily. And of course, just pushes her away with it. Not just actually grab at her hand because she realized she could have easily got hit by the kendo sword with her own kendo sword if Issei would have pulled it out and then used it against her. Issei was fast and swift. Now, of course, half of them are kind of blushing because of his face. He barely shows it off. And of course, seeing him show it off for a couple of seconds just made them kind of be happy. Of course, well, Issei gets to an empty classroom and sees both of his friends. This is where they're quiet. Well, one of them actually has a bottle of alcohol, while the other one is right now scared. This is where, well, the bald one actually has a bottle of alcohol and a hat on top of his head, like this kind of like hat and all that. And this is where his other friend is quiet, the glasses guy. This is where Issei sighs and says, "What do you two did exactly?" This is where, well, the guy with bald, mostly barely having any hair, his name is, well, the guy named Matsuda kind of keeps like drinking some sake. This is where, well, he mostly got it out of from a drawer in this classroom. Mostly it was a drawer, but it's actually like a hidden fridge, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei says, "Give me some." This is where he pulls out like a small, mostly a disc, mostly to pour in, but yeah. That kind of like this model, whatever the fuck. I forgot what they're called. But of course, it worked well. Masuda does not and gives some to him. Mostly pour into that cup, but yeah. Doesn't work well. Issei, he drinks a little bit and says, God damn it. Explain what you two did exactly and how the hell did you two get caught? This is where Masuda says, from a little bit of explainment, and kind of glances at the other dude with glasses, mostly. Glances at Murahama. Now, of course, this is where, well, Matsuda says that it would be, mostly, Murahama said that it would be a good idea to use his sacred gear. This is where, well, to see if he can actually, like, kind of make a bigger hole into the swim club, mostly the swim place, and also, or mostly the swim club, and also in the kendo club. Now, of course, he fucked it up and made a pretty loud noise. I thought he would make it silent, but it was loud enough that the swim club team actually chased us. We managed to escape from them, and then he decides to go towards the kendo club, thinking it would be a good idea also, but he fucked up also. Pretty much he was just trying to make a red laser out of his mostly gauntlet, but of course he fucked it up. Instead, he just made a loud noise, like a loud roar. This is where Issei says, oh my god, Matora, seriously, are you such an idiot? Do you realize the sacred gear is dangerous right now in school? Didn't I already tell you how many times not to use it inside of school? God damn it. You realize I will have to wipe the memories of anyone daring to try to figure out in which sacred gear you have. This is where, well, mostly Murahama sweat drops because he never seen, or he has seen Issei this pissed off. Mostly in a couple times. But of course, this is where he sweat drops and says, sorry man, I couldn't. I needed to see a little bit more action. Issei said, do you not have enough money to kind of get x-ray, what's it called, x-ray goggles? This is where, well, Matora says, wait, you have some? Shit, I have some, but I don't use them. The only time I use them is just information that I need to get. I'm not giving you those because, first of all, I feel like it will break them on accident or just give me back, but they have sticky stuff on them. So no, I'm not ever going to give them to you. This is where Matora kind of just sighs and saddens, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei kind of glances at, well, his other friend, mostly named, he glances at Masuda, and this is where, well, Issei said, Jesus Christ. Well, for your punishment, you two, because clearly, Masuda, you could have at least prevented this idiot from using his sacred gear, is, well, first of all, Murahama, you're never going to use your sacred gear again unless it's something in life and death. I'm going to make you sure go through a lot of fallen angels to see how you would deal with them without your sacred gear. This is where, well, Murahama is like, wait, we can talk about this. I don't want to go against him. Shut up. This is where Murahama shuts up after a while. He like can't talk for a second. And this is where, well, Matsu says, hey man, I just gave you some sake. Besides, I bought this with my own money. This is where Issei does glance at him and says, you did give me sake, but that was only because you two gave me such a headache. And that means, Masuda, that means you cannot use your ulcer, your kind of laryngitis, or mostly your abilities / borrow power. This is where, well, Matsuda says, damn it. But can I at least still use my weapons? Yes, you can still use them, but not their kind of abilities from them. You can use them regularly, but yeah, like a normal fucking human. This is where, well, Matsuda says, damn it. Fine. This is where, well, Murahama says, shit. Hey, Matsu, you want to give me one of your weapons? No, fuck you. This is where, well, Matsuda says, come on, man, don't be like that. This is where, well, Matsuda says, dude, you fuck us over. Clearly, if a fallen angel dared to attack us, and Issei is there, he's going to get rid of our special abilities by making us kind of fight. Either frozen or just on fire. You realize how broken he is. This is where Murahama says, please, Issei, come on. I promise. I won't do this again. This is where Issei says, no, no, no. You're at like your 50 fucking strike. You see here, Sona, well, mostly, he doesn't say Sona's actual name is mostly Sarina. He says Sarina, mostly mostly the council president, has already bothered me with the complaints of how many females have complained about you two idiots fucking up. Now, of course, I can see Matsuda always kind of being smart and seeing them from a tree and with kind of what's it called, not up close into that peephole. You guys are just idiots. God damn it. And why hasn't they actually closed up those damn peepholes? If clearly they don't want any guy to look in, why the hell do they even have it in there? This is where Issei is kind of frustrated and annoyed with his two idiots friends. This is where, well, Matsuda says, wait, Issei, we can talk. This is where a just barely hits his head. Right now, it hits kind of the, like, mostly wall. And of course, it was a mostly like the screw. This is where, well, it was pretty big and it would have hit Matsuda's head. Issei says, shut up right now. This is where Matsuda does not it. This is where, well, he almost got hit. He knows that right now talking to Issei in such a pissed off state is the wrong kind of thing to do, the wrong move. This is where, well, Issei said, now you two understand and what your punishments are. First of all, Matsuda, you be going against every fallen angel you see, so that means I will give you how many kills that you need to kill them when your regular form. 40 fallen angels. Matsuda says, that's too much. Wait, no. This is where, well, Matsuda, you'll be killing, well, 20 just because you did tell me the truth. And I know damn well that you're not an idiot to using your abilities in school. But still, that would still be enough of a punishment for both of you. Okay? Understood? Or do you want me to increase it to 25? This is where Matsuda says, yes, I understand. I'll kill 20 fallen angels or anything. Good. Now, kill 20 fallen angels or any type of freaking supernatural being that attacks you too. I don't want you to accidentally go into argue or anger other beings because I don't care. Just do it out of self-defense or just non-self-defense. I don't care. Understood, Issei said. This is where both of them nodded. This is where, well, Issei says, good. Motora, come here. This is where, well, mostly, Motohama. This is where, well, Motohama says, what do you need? Issei punched him in the face, clocking him in the freaking eye, making him have a black eye. Issei said, that's for being an idiot. Next time the class, or mostly the kind of council president, calls me up because of you being an idiot, I'm gonna make sure your other eye stays black. This is where, well, Motohama said, yes, Issei. This is where, well, I might also fucking pluck it. Issei right now makes a, like, this golden knife appear out of, like, thin air. This is where, well, Motohama said, yeah, I won't do this. This is where, well, he then kind of nodded and doesn't actually want to get his eye stabbed out because he won't be able to see girls and be a pervert. This is where, well, Issei says, good. Now, I should probably get into class. And also, hey, Sacred Gear of Motohama, also known as Annihilation Black Dragon. Don't you dare help Motohama with any fallen angels unless it's a very dangerous foe. This is where the gauntlet appears and says, I understood. Or mostly not the gauntlet, mostly a red glow appears on this man's left hand. This is where he says, I understood. Besides, I really don't even like him really don't even like helping him that much. This idiot doesn't understand. I am one of the strongest dragons. I'm an emperor. One of the 3 emperor dragons from Drake and what's it called? What's it called? What's the other white dragon? Mostly from the white dragon. This is where, well, Issei understood. He then says, still, don't you dare help him. I will know if you help him. Drake does have a connection to you. This is where the dragon nodded. Mostly not in his mindset, but does kind of like said understood outside. This is where Issei says, good. Now, how's... no, I won't answer that question. I know you still hate your host. This is where, well, Matsuhama says, damn, that's cold. This is where, well, Issei then looks at, well, Matsuda and Matsuhama and says, you two may leave. This is where they understood and just got up and then just start leaving. This is where, well, Issei does notice that Matsuda is taking like the bottle of whiskey. Issei says, don't take the bottle of whiskey. Put it back where you found it and don't you dare show it to anyone. Clearly, you still too have to have that mostly hidden perverted bullshit, whatever. Since we are called the perverted trio, mostly of a cover-up. I'm not trying to show off my true colors yet. Understood? This is where, well, they both nodded. They are very scared of Issei, with his abilities to just be able to define everything. This is where, well, they still kind of know about his abilities a little bit, but not much. This is where, well, Issei then disappears the golden knife that he had. This is where Issei said, I can't believe I can still kind of create weapons from the video games I kind of played. Mostly he played at, well, since middle school. This is where he says, maybe I should play them here. This is our classroom, and clearly, Sarina, well, the class mostly not the class president, mostly the council president, doesn't really bother me in this classroom. So maybe I should put, you know what, I should. This is where Issei right now thinks in his head about putting a TV here, mostly a large screen TV, putting what's it called, the Xbox or PSP or whatever, mostly a PS5 or Xbox series here just to kind of play video games. Just because he usually doesn't like going to class neither. Then there's a lot of people that piss him off in the school. Mostly perverts and girls that can't just shut up for a second. This is where, well, Issei said, what to do? I know that there's clearly 4 devils in the school, and they're all high rank in position. I know Sarina is one of them. But I also do know that one red hair, one white silver hair girl, and also the last one having kind of a purplish blackish hair. Mostly gotta get out of their way. Or mostly not get in their way. Because I don't want to be bothered by them. He's thinking in his head. This is where he talks to Drake, saying, so what should we do next, Drake? Drake says, I don't know, partner. Clearly you're powerful enough to take on all the 4 devils here. But I know you won't do it because of the red hair being connected to Lucifer, one of the 4 devil kings in the underworld. This is where, well, Issei says, of course. And I know also Sarina is connected to a devil king. There's no way in the hell she's that powerful and she managed to get that many votes, unless someone was helping her. And I know this because when she was trying to defeat me in middle school to become the council president, she never could because there was no one helping her. Well, that's in, she mostly hated my cruel ideas. Whatever. Still, if I had my way with this school, I definitely would have made sure that school was a proper educational school. Sarina isn't doing such a great idea with this. But still, doesn't matter. Just going to have to wait for the right timing. Just to see if, well, Sarina will step down. When she steps down, I'm going to take control of the school and make sure to become like the same in middle school. This is what, well, Drake says, you still have that fantastic dream of yours, making everything perfect, or as perfect as it can be. Of course, I'm a perfect freak. But still, it doesn't matter. I might have been born an anomaly, but still, I don't care. Truly, this world is so pathetic. This is where we go into a time skip. Mostly change scene or whatever. No, I'm just kidding. But mostly a time skip. Mostly we go into Masuda and Matsuhama. This is where, well, they are quiet. Now, of course, the students do kind of whisper thinking that Issei might have stepped in, mostly the perverted trio, because they know that he, well, mostly is a funny kid and, of course, does talk. And he is a part of the pervert trio. And they do kind of think that he's the leader of the pervert trio. and he might have stepped in and clocked what's it called Matsuhama. Of course, Matsuda, they don't understand why he wasn't punched in the face, but they're thinking he might have been punched in the gut so hard or something, and he might have a bruise there. Now, of course, well, no one really does kind of bother Issei to talk to him or anything, not even that many people, unless it's just two idiotic friends. But if it's no one else, then no one will really talk to him, because they have this kind of dangerous feeling to him. He has a very dangerous feeling. Truly, he doesn't like anyone talking to him. And if anyone just bothered him with just a simple fucking question in a problem of, well, school, he clearly would just ignore them entirely. This is where Issei doesn't need to be bothered with bullshit. Now, of course, well, we go into Issei. Issei, who right now did get a large screen TV, and also got what's it called, Xbox Series into, well, plug-in and everything. This is where he starts playing kind of video games. He does have headphones, so no one will hear from the outside of what's it called, the classroom, but yeah. He starts fucking playing. This is where, well, he's saying, "You dog shit, mother." No, just kidding. But really, he is kind of playing what's it called, CSGO, yeah, he's just playing CSGO, and of course, he's right now just stabbing someone, right now sniping them, but yeah, so Issei's just laughing. He does have CSGO, and he does, well, after playing CSGO, he is kind of like playing, what's it called, Grand Theft Auto 5, over here, fucking, yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5, yeah. Did I say Grand Theft Auto, or never mind. But of course, he's just playing that game, and of course, he just beat the shit out of some kind of person. Well, he's playing online, he's just beating the shit out of people because he doesn't care that much. He's just laughing because he's managing to win most of these games. This is where, well, Issei's just chuckling to him and says, losers. This is where, well, he realized school is almost over when he kind of checked his kind of like timer. He does have a watch, and this watch is kind of a golden and navy blue kind of watch. Mostly it has, well, the numbers are golden. Well, so he has a dark kind of, okay, so the, well, numbers on the watch is kind of gold. Like, it's one that actually kind of like tick, tick, ticks. Not like an auto watch or whatever it's called. Like a digital watch. It's not a digital watch. It's just a regular old-fashioned watch. Now, of course, it's gold, the kind of mostly numbers. And of course, it's pretty easy to read. But of course, this is where, well, the little tick things, mostly the moving handles, they're kind of silver. But the whole thing, well, underneath from all that, well, mostly inside it, not the numbers, but it's kind of navy blue. Now the stripes are kind of like these golden with kind of navy blue colors, but yeah. But of course, he kind of just checks on there and realizes it's almost time to go. He then gets off from the game, like logs off and other things. He puts it back to, well, normal. Mostly puts an illusion magic over it so people won't figure out this classroom is mostly held by the three perverted people, mostly trio perverts, but yeah, and realize this is kind of like a gaming place for Issei and the others to kind of go or whatever. But of course, he did put an illusion over them and says, well, it's time to go. This is where Issei, he kind of gets his shit, mostly his like backpack and other things, exits the classroom after seeing no one inside, or mostly kind of in the hallways, closes it, and starts walking away. And so where Issei, he's right now having his scarf over his face, and of course his hood over his head. This is where, well, he doesn't really like people looking at him much. Now, of course, this is where, well, we go into Issei getting, well, mostly outside. He sees mostly Murahama and also Matsui. And of course, this is where he then says, hey, you two idiots, wait for me. This is where they say, Issei. This is where, well, Issei says, come on, let's go. This is where Issei then had a strange feeling. He turns around and looks towards mostly this old kind of abandoned place. Mostly the old kind of school. Now, of course, he does notice a red-haired girl with bluish eyes staring at him. Now, of course, Issei does stare at her back for a little bit. But of course, this is where he turns around and ignoring her. This is where, well, Matsuhama and also Matsui didn't know what Issei was kind of looking at. They did kind of glance back and notice Rias was staring at them. This is where, well, Matsui kind of speaks towards Issei in his ear, mostly kind of next to him, and says, why is she staring at us? Does she know? Issei says, no, she doesn't. She's either staring at me or staring at both of you. Well, it doesn't matter. If she gets in my way, I won't hesitate in trying to kill her. Understood? Just understand this now. If she gets in the way and trying to kill you or try to make you her pawn or whatever, don't use your abilities. Understood? Try to escape from whatever she's going to plan on us. What about you? Don't worry, I'm already a skilled enough fighter with just normal weapons. I don't need to use my abilities. If it does have to result to using my abilities, I will. But I don't need to most of the time. This is where, well, the two nodded, and of course, this is where they separate their way. Now, of course, the bald dude didn't have his hat just yet, but of course, he puts it back on after taking out of it from his kind of school uniform coat. This is where he puts it on and says, time to go home. It's been a long ass day. Matsuda says, we go into Motohama. Motohama says, can't wait to get to my destiny. He goes, he says, to my, my plus 18 stash. It's been such a long day. This is where, well, Aurora glows and says, don't use me, you bastard. Better use your fucking other hand. This is where, well, Motohama kind of blushes and says, sorry about that. Yeah, I can't believe I'm stuck with you. Shit, I'd rather be stuck with your leader. At least he knows what to do most of the time. I curse Drake. I seriously curse Drake. This is where the Black Dragon says, and what's it called, his mindscape, but yeah, mostly his mind. This is where, well, we go into, well, Issei. Issei is going home. Of course, he's crossing a bridge, and this is where, well, a girl speaks up behind him and says, you're Issei, right? This is where, well, Issei turns around and sees the girl with a red uniform and, of course, a skirt. This is where, well, she has longish black hair, and, of course, this is where, well, she has, wait. This is where she has reddish eyes, and this is where, well, Issei in his head just says, Kuh. He scoffs, because this is just his fucking luck. A fallen angel dares to try to trick him. This is where Issei outside right now smiles very friendly and says, hello, there. Do you need something? Issei said in a very cheerful tone. This is where, well, this girl says, yes, my name is Yumi, and I want you to go out with me, please. This is where she says it in a very shy but quiet tone, just to see if Issei will take the bait. Issei in his head said, Kuh. Seriously? Such a pathetic lie. Huh. That'd be fun to kill her. Or maybe... He then licks his lips in his mindscape, saying, maybe it'd be fun to tease her a little bit before killing her. This is where Issei in his outer mind says, sure, I'll go out with you. Haha. It's really nice. This is where Issei's cheerful tone sounds nothing like him about like fucking like hours ago. This is where, well, she then says, really? You would? Can you please go out with me tomorrow? This is where, well, she said at a specific time. This is where, well, Issei says, sure, I'll go out. This is where, well, she then kind of walks away. And this is where, well, Issei just grins right now in his, well, he's still wearing the scarf and other things, even though it's pretty hot out here. But still, Issei grins and he says, idiot. This is where, well, Issei does notice another presence kind of following him. This is where, well, he's walking down the stairs, and this is where Issei turns around and says, can I help you? This is where Issei said in a very cheerful tone. This is where Koneko didn't expect Issei to turn around. Issei says, sorry, I just noticed your shadow. The sun was mostly kind of hitting her, and of course a shadow did appear. This is where, well, Koneko says, no, I need to go. This is where she kind of walks away, but yeah, Issei says, Kse. Of course, if it isn't one of the rooks of, well, Creamery. That little bitch. I feel like she's trying to kill me just because she probably knows I have a sacred gear or something. This is where, well, Drake says, I wouldn't doubt it, sir. Well, mostly, partner. I feel like she would. Oh, such a fucking slut. Why am I always surrounded by these goddamn whores? Whatever. Issei kind of walks now towards his house. And of course he gets ready for tomorrow. For his little fucking just side event because, well, he'd rather be playing video games. But it'd be funny for him just to tease someone. This is what, well, he hasn't done it in such a long time. Even since it's been since middle school. He has fucked with so many people in middle school, but it's been a while. He probably is rusty a little bit. Then again, he always kind of fucks around with, well, Matsu and Motohama, just because they piss him off sometimes. But it hasn't pissed him off like yesterday. This is where, well, Issei gets ready by kind of wearing a dark navy blue kind of coat, black pants, and of course black boots. This is where, well, he's also wearing what's it called a white shirt underneath, but of course it's mostly zipped up thanks to the black jacket, or mostly dark blue navy coat. Of course it does have a hood, and of course this is where he has just a normal face mask instead of a scarf. This is where a face mask just shows to be like a dark navy blue, but yeah, his favorite color is kind of dark navy blue mostly. This is where, well, Issei's getting out from the house, and this is where his parents say, "So where are you going, Issei?" This is where Issei says, "Oh, I'm going to hang out with my friends." He smiles at them, just so they won't bother him with more questions. He said he was going out with a girl. This is where, well, they said, "Okay, goodbye, good luck." This is where Issei says, "Yeah, good luck for me, or good luck to that girl. She's getting absolutely fucked over. But still, her aura seems familiar. I wonder." This is where Issei, he looks at his phone, gave a quick call to someone, and this is where, well, the person says just a lot of stuff to Issei, and of course Issei just understood. He says, "I won't do it then, but I might take her." This is where, well, the person argues a little bit before Issei kind of just hanging up on him, and this is where the person's angry. Now, of course, where, well, he's right now hearing the TV saying, "Ultra," what's it called? Ultra attack. He mostly hears the TV kind of playing. Of course, this is where it says, what's it called? Da, 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 da. Mostly having the, what's it called? Smash Bros. Theme song in the background, but yeah. But of course, this is where he says, "God, are they really playing well me? Fucking bastards." This is where, well, or mostly not fucking bastard, mostly fucking bastard, but yeah. This is where, well, we go into Issei meeting up with Yumi, and of course they're having a fun time. Issei is still having this cheerful expression, but no one has actually seen it. Of course, where, well, Issei did take off his face mask after a while. Now, of course, showing his cheerful smile just to get Yumi closer and closer, just for him to plan out what to do next. But yeah, this is where Yumi is actually enticed with his like friendly, very friendly smile. She wasn't expecting him to be this adorable. Now she's kind of regretting if she should do it or not. This is where, well, we go into mostly that one part, like original canon. This is where she whispered into Issei's ear saying, "Will you die for me?" Issei, right now, she can barely even see his face, but this is where Issei has a grin. And this is where Issei says, "Sure," but before, Issei grabs her from the waist and pulls her closer. And this is where her face is nothing but red because she wasn't expecting this. This is where Issei said, "Let me at least get a goodbye kiss." This is where, well, they were very close to lips until Issei just kissed her in the forehead and says, "There." This is where her face is nothing but red because she was expecting to just get her first kiss over with by someone that she's actually supposed to kill. And this is where, well, Issei jumps back, and this is where a light spear hits the kind of ground where he was in front. This is where Issei looks up and looks at 3 fallen angels that just appeared. One with kind of a brownish coat with a hat, and of course has wings, fallen wings, mostly these angel wings, but they're fallen. But yeah, of course has a light spear right now in his hand. This is where, well, like, yeah, a light spear in one of his hands, mostly his left hand. This is where he then looks to the other side and saw one with blondish hair, and of course, well, this blondish hair girl that's pretty short, and of course, this is where, well, she has 2 ponytails. And of course, not that long, her hair kind of goes with the 2 ponytails. But of course, where, well, she has kind of these greenish eyes, and she has also fallen angel wings. This is where next to her is a dark, kind of darkish blue hair girl with these yellowish eyes and showing off some cleavage. And of course, her bust side being big. But of course, she has like a kind of spear, a light spear, but it has one pointy side and the other side being pointy at the same time. Now, of course, this is where, well, Issei did notice that they're all fallen angels. Now, of course, this is where he looks at Yumi, and Yumi says, her face is still red and still shocked with the expression why her comrades are here, or mostly some people that she knows. This is where, well, Issei he kind of glances also behind him because he noticed a present already show up. Now, he didn't take the paper where it's summoned what's it called, Rias. So, of course, Issei sighs. He realized he's going to have to do this without powers. Even though he really wanted to pass these people. He sighs. He probably will have to wipe the memories of one of the people behind him because he knows who they are. One of them is someone that he already met with yesterday when he was talking with the counter president, Cyrena. Now, of course, then there's Grandmarie Rias, who's there with her queen. Now, of course, Cyrena's also with her queen. That's right, Issei sighs because he swear to God didn't even want to do this shit. This is where, well, Issei from his back of his coat already made a gun. He already kind of made two guns behind him when he put both of his hands behind him. And this is where the fallen angel says, "What are you gonna do, little, child, or mostly, human child?" This is where Issei just smiles at him and says, "What am I gonna do?" He has this evilish grin now, saying, "Don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll fucking shoot your head off." This is where the person says, "Ha!" Like I was. This is where Issei pulls out the gun real fast, put it right in front of him, and aims and just blasts the bullet out of the gun, hitting this guy in the head, already killing him. This is where the guy falls down to the ground. Issei says, "Oops, did I accidentally kill you? Damn, that's a shame because I easily fucking murder you." This is where Light Spirit almost hits him from the blondish hair girl. This is where Issei managed to dodge and says, "You people are so annoying. I know I don't want to use this ability," and I did kind of scold Matsui and also Matsura about not using abilities, but I want to finish this so badly. This is where he looks at both of the fallen angels and say, "Freeze." This is where both of them freezes. Even though they're up there and still their wings are flapping, they can't move exactly. Issei puts his gun right towards them and says, "Well, ladies, it seems like you're gonna have to just go first." This is where he shoots a bullet at the female with bluish hair in her heart, killing her off, and then points a gun at the blondish hair girl. Mostly Yumi stops him by trying to grab his gun out of his hand. This is where Issei says, "What are you doing?" This is where, well, she says, "Stop it, please. This is not you, are you?" This is where she's scared because if this really is how Issei reacts, then was it all a lie, his happy, cheerful smile? This is where, well, Issei just smiles and says, "Why should I? Then again, you are." This is where Issei whispers into her ear, saying, "You are Azo's daughter, and I can't kill you. Was she important to you? If she isn't, then I can kill her off, shouldn't I?" This is where she widened her eyes. She wasn't expecting Issei to already know about her father. This is where, well, she kind of quietly shakes her head and says, "Please don't kill her. I will go." This is where Issei says, "Fine, then go." This is where she, well, sees Issei puts his gun back into his coat, or mostly behind him. And this is where, well, it just dissipates because pretty much he created without saying a word because he just created out of nowhere. Well, he mostly said Desert Eagle very whisperly, but of course, he didn't manage to make it. This is where, well, she then kind of like flies up towards the car, mostly the blondish hair girl, and does kind of like tell her to just leave. Clearly, they're outmatched for this human. This is where, well, Issei says unfreeze. Of course, this is where a blondish hair girl does not and follow well, Yumi, or whatever her kind of fake name was again. This is where, well, Issei smiles. This is where, well, he then just kind of turns around. And of course, even though he didn't say freeze out loud, it was still kind of loud enough, but still multiple people were shocked for him just shooting two fallen angels without a care in the world. He's thinking, well, Issei is thinking in his head, mostly that they should probably not know that he doesn't have a sacred gear. Mostly it was a gun. And clearly it was nice in texture, just to make sure that truly he's packing heat. This is where, well, Issei says, well, it's time for me to leave. He does go first to the fallen angels just to check if they have money or something. Issei is coming to rob them. This is where, well, Issei doesn't see they don't have money in this. Well, mostly the guy with the brownish coat finds out he has some lots of money from the wallet. This is where Issei says, well, he isn't gonna spend it no more. This is where Issei puts it in his pocket and walks away. This is where, well, both Rias and Sona's face just kind of has this kind of look of just shock and how Issei just didn't even care about robbing them, even though they're dead, which is a shock. Now, of course, they're shocked when Issei did pull out a gun. Now, of course, where Sona does know about Issei's kind of personality. Of course, when they were in middle school, Issei did always bring a knife, just in case he needs to stab a dumbass. Now, of course, seeing him pull out a gun is kind of surprising, but still not that surprising. He always was a kind of maniac for weapons. So, of course, she's not that surprised. This is where Rias, on the other hand, is really surprised. If he has that in school, it's bigger shock. Now, of course, she's hoping that this man doesn't have that in school, because if she asks Kiba to kind of get him, and Issei does get annoyed with Kiba, there's a good chance a bullet's gonna hit him in the head, because Issei had perfect aim, very perfect aim. This is where, Issei just grins walking away. Oh well, I hope they don't have any stupid ideas. Still, Serena, you idiot. You listen to, what's it called, the Grimoire, without a care in the world. Well, maybe I should go check on, a man I need to go check on. Let's see where, Issei, he kind of just runs off to the arcade saying, "Arcade!" But really, he was he just kind of like turned to the corner and right now just disappear, saying teleportation. This is where, he teleport out of there. This is where, he already appears at a house, and of course, he then sees, what's it called, someone playing Smash Bros, while someone else kind of getting a call from someone, and that's where Issei says, "Hey, Biko." This is where Biko says, "Oh, Issei, what's up?" This is where, Biko says, "You gonna play Smash Bros with me?" Issei says, "I would, but, I have some things to do, and I gotta talk to Azel." This is where, Biko says, "He's over there right now talking. What are you gonna tell him?" Well, you took one of his daughters and take her first kiss or something? Issei kind of grins with his evilish toothy smile. This is where Biko says, "Wait, what?" This is where Issei says, "Nah, I'm just kidding. I just want to fuck with him." This is where, Biko just grins and says, "I should have known. You're an evil bastard, you know that, Issei?" Issei says, "Ah, thank you." This is where Biko says, "Fuck you." This is where, Issei says, "I don't swing that way, man. I'm good. Go ask, what's it called, Arthur or something like that." This is where Biko says, "Nah, man, don't take it that way." This is where Issei says, "Whatever, man." This is where Issei walks up to, what's it called, the desk, and sees Azo. And Azo was mostly in a con. That's where he says, "Understood, you're gonna come over. If you come over, you're going to have to bring your own clothes, because I kind of did throw away your older clothes." This is where, a scream was in that call, and this is where he hangs up, because, holy shit, it's breaking his ears. This is where Issei said, "What was that?" This is where Azo says, "Problems with children." I fucked up. Why? I accidentally threw their clothes away. Moron. Issei said in a very sarcastic tone, but yeah. Mostly in a very sassy tone, saying, "Idiot." Issei was kind of giggling because it's funny. This is where, as I say, screw you. So, how's the mission? I killed 2 of the fallen angels that were working for, Cocoa Bean. This is where, also says, when are you gonna actually call him actually by his serious name? Never, because he sounds like a cocoa bean. Do you want me to actually call him by his real fucking name? Fine, Coco something, because I don't remember. This is where Elzer chuckles and says, "Whatever." So you killed the dark blue hair girl and also the other guy named Donasik? Yes, I killed them both. I shot them, one from his head and the other from her heart. Even though I like her dark navy blue hair. Damn, should I really took her life? Fuck. This is where, Azo says, she would have been older than you. Still, I love her fucking navy blue hair. Never mind. This is where, Azo just chuckles and says, "Seriously, kid, I'm never gonna get used to you just really liking your blue, mostly blue color, mostly navy blue. Hey, man, fuck you." This is where, Issei says, "But whatever with that. Pretty much, I only came here to kind of talk to you. Pretty much, I didn't kill her. Be happy." This is where, Elzo says, "Good. What about the other one? The blondish one?" "No, I threatened her, and yes, Yumi did jump into it, or mostly your daughter." This is where, well, I was threatening her and she did leave peacefully and quiet. Now, I'm also thinking they're working with the devils that are right now in school. You know, the four devils that are supposed to be the most popular hot girls or something. Issei say with a sarcastic tone. This is where, well, Elzo says, of course. What did they get into? Mostly, he says towards, what's it called? He says, what did Rainier do? Damn it. This is where, well, he hears the door knock, and this is where it then opens. And what Issei and, well, Elzo sees is Rainier and her kind of friend, the blondish hair kind of short girl. And of course, then sees another blondish hair girl with a ponytail. And of course, she has what's it called, the same school uniform, which Issei has seen before. And because she does show off her cleavage a little bit more times. And this is where, well, she has a short dress, mostly skirt and all that. And this is where he then sees the last one, who is the kind of, one of the kind of four double queens. Or mostly also known as Valerie. This is where, well, Issei says, oh shit. This is where, well, he also says, oh fuck. I should have locked the door. Wait, no, I did lock the door. He sees the key and says, oh shit, the spare key I gave to Valerie. This is where he says, whisperly, but this is where Issei kind of glares at him. You moron. This is where, well, Issei wasn't expecting them to show up too fast. This is where right now, it's like, This is where her face is kind of reddish and say, Issei, what are you doing here? Kind of reddish and kind of bluish because she's scared and kind of embarrassed to actually see Issei here. This is where Issei says, oh shit. This is going to be a long explaining, or I can just erase your memories. This is where Azo stops him from actually erasing their memories, and this is where Azo says, oh, this is just my gaming buddy. This is where Azo says, very friendly and cheerful. This is where, well, Issei says, yeah, I met him at a gaming convention. This is where, well, both Issei and, what's it called, Azo are trying to play it dumb. Because Azo doesn't want to, well, make, what's it called, Rainier kind of gets her memories erased. Thanks to Issei's abilities. But yeah, this is where, well, Rainier says, oh, that's cool. This is where Azo says, so, where have you met him? School. This is where she says, very cheerful, friendly, kind of scared a little bit, but yeah. Because Issei easily killed one of the two fallen angels that weren't really with her. Mostly she was with them to kind of find out what Coco Bean is trying to do, but yeah. Now, of course, I'm going to keep calling Coco Bean because I forgot his name completely. Or completely, mostly. This is where, well, Hansa says, oh, cool. Issei, can you go play with, what's it called, Biku over there? Yeah, this is where Issei says, got it. That's where, well, Biku wanted to change it to a human form because he heard all the commotion. He has to change it real fast. He says, yo, what's good, Issei? You want to play some Smash Bros? Yeah, Biku had to change real fast because he gotta look like he's human. This is where, well, Valerie kind of sees them both playing, and of course, this is where she gets grumpy because she wanted to play, what's it called? Mostly Smash Bros. Also. This is where, well, she watches Issei just play Smash Bros. With Biku, and Biku's getting his ass kicked because like, no, you motherfucker, no, don't you use that Minecraft skin, mother, don't you use Steve, mother. This is where he's just cussing most of the time. This is where Issei says, ha, you suck. This is where Biku's glaring at him. This is where Issei just kind of glances at him with this evilish smile. Ha, fuck you. This is where, well, Biku says, I don't swing that way. Oh, you don't? Well, clearly you were trying to swing that way when you said that to me. You said it with kind of compassion and other things. This is where Biku says, I know the fuck I didn't. This is where Issei said, ha, I won. This is where Issei managed to distract him and actually beat his ass in another round because it just started up. This is where Biku tried to smash the controller down to the ground until Issei managed to caught it. This is where Issei says, hey man, where you going? Where are you leaving? This is where Biku says, mostly he's walking away, and say, fuck off, you fucking bastard. This is where Issei says, ha, don't be a sore loser. Biku says, fuck you. I'll swing that way, Issei said. This is where Biku just shut his door, but yeah. Issei just smiles, very friendly and just kind of giggling, but yeah. This is where, well, he kind of puts the controller down and was about to get up until mostly someone sat next to him. And there's none other than Valerie, one of the kind of four queens of the Kua Academy. That's where Issei says, hey Azo, I might have to leave. This is where, well, before he even gets up, his hand was grabbed to pulled back down. That's where Issei was confused, and his mostly wrist was kind of pulled. This is where, well, he kind of glances toward the girl, who is actually one of the four queens, And this is where she's glaring at him and says, "You play with me." This is where, well, Issei says, "Whoa, whoa, calm down. I'm already tired." This is where, well, she says, "I don't care. I can clearly see you managed to beat Biku like 4 times. And clearly you're pretty good in using some of the weaker characters." Issei says, "Yeah, I'm a professional. But that doesn't matter. I need to go. I need to, well, get ready for school tomorrow. So see ya." This is where, well, she says, "No, you don't." This is where she grabs Issei again from the wrestling time and pull him down. This is where Issei says, "Fine, how about this? If I beat you in this game, you let me go and you stop bothering me." This is where Issei gets serious on his tone because he's getting quite pissed the fuck off. This is where, well, she says, "Fine, but you won't be able to beat me. You might have to stay here for about a whole night." This is where Issei says, "Sure, let's start." This is where, well, Issei beats her about 5 fucking times until she's raging. This is where, well, Elzo is kind of chuckling, just seeing what's it called, Valerie just get easily beat, even though she plays this game like lots. But of course, then again, Issei does play this game more because, well, this motherfucker be playing at school without anyone noticing. But yeah. This is where, well, Elzo does know about Issei's kind of 2 double life. First of all, he is very friendly, cheerful, well, kind of. Mostly that's his manipulative side, and that was middle school self. But mostly in his high school self is quiet and don't disturb or get fucked up. But also kind of has a pervert thing. But really, he's not much of a pervert thing, but mostly a covert because his other 2 friends wanted to choose that. Then again, there's his true self. His true, very violent nature self. It can only be shown when Issei is so annoyed and just so pissed off most of the time. This is where it's shown mostly through the game and because how Valerie was just pissing him off. This is where Valerie was about to smash the control down to the ground until Issei caught her also and says, "Elzo, you want to play?" Elzo says, "Hell no, kid. You managed to kick her ass. Could it be that you didn't hold back even a single time?" "Hell no, I didn't hold back. Why would I hold back? Clearly, I was not annoyed. I was just wanting to go home." This is where, well, Valerie did suggest most of the times, mostly like 3 out of 5, and this is where it went on, and yeah. Issei said, "Still, she actually managed to last longer. 6 matches of me kicking her ass. Very impressive. Biku only lasted like 3 matches before he rage quit." This is where, well, Elzo chuckles. This is where Valerie just glares at her father and says, "Shut up." This is where, well, Elsa says, "Are you going with the others?" This is where, well, Valerie says, "Yeah, I'm gonna go sleep with my sisters." And yeah, "Don't you dare come in. And neither are you, pervert." This is where, well, she knows about Issei's kind of title of one of the leaders of the pervert trio. This is where, well, Issei says, Whoa, I'm already leaving. Don't freaking try to shoot the messenger. Damn." This is where Elzo's chuckling. This is where Elzo says, "You should stay over, kid." Issei says, "Yeah, but my parents will be worried about me, so I can't really stay." This is where, well, Elzo chuckles and says, "Sure. Well, see you, kid." This is where Issei kind of walks down, mostly opens the door and gets out of the apartment. This is where he's walking out, and this is where he says, "Forced teleportation." He teleports out of there. This is where, well, he didn't even use a magic circle. He can easily just teleport, but yeah, by using his words. He mostly say teleport to home, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei then appears at his house. And this is where, well, Issei, he is laying in his bed and saying, "Shit, been a long day." Still, the more fun I ever had. So much fun. It's already like 3 o'clock, I should mention, but yeah. This is where, well, his parents might be arguing later on, but pretty much he has excuses. He has enough excuses just to kind of throw them out of the way, and so he can just plan further. Drake in his head says, "Kid, you should be really thinking about having a mate. You're almost 18. Issei said, "Dude, fuck that," Issei said in his head. "I don't care about having a mate or any of that shit. Seriously, you're a dragon. You're more down bad than I am. I barely even think of anything. Either if it's not my perfect plan, or you're just thinking of wanting to have kind of fun. Dude, I don't care," Issei said in his head. This is where, well, Drake says, "Come on, kid. with your kind of good looks and also your manipulative side, you can manage to get every girl in school. You can become the harem king of the whole school. Issei says, that's not my dream. That's basically Motohama's kind of dream right there. My dream is basically just to create a perfect world for myself. Well, not that perfect, but just to be a ruler. Still, I'm not going to be like that fucking pervert idiot. This is where, well, Drake says, what about the other? His dream is just to become one of the greatest weapon users. And I can actually respect that. But for me, I just want a quiet life. A very quiet and very perfect world for myself. No one to bother me, no one to do anything like that. This is where Drake gets reminded of Orpheus and how she has similar dream like his. But yeah, but Issei isn't going to try to go to the dimensional gap because he knows that shit won't. He won't even last a couple of minutes there, or unless he wants to erase the entire thing. Yes, he also did get to the dimensional gap one time using his abilities. But of course, where, well, he didn't want to stay there too much long, so of course he just disappeared back to his house. But he has a main way just to get there, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei is now at what's it called? He just goes to sleep and of course wakes up the next day, gets to school, but yeah. Because the other day was mostly an off day, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei is getting to class. Right now, Bernie, well, being tired because he's mostly tired thanks to Drake bothering so much, saying, dude, you could easily get blah, 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 blah. Just bothering Issei so much. Issei was already tired and so fucking annoyed with Drake. He managed to cut the link off because he was just getting on his nerves. This is where, well, Issei barely got any sleep. This is where Issei says, I'd rather be having the fucking black dragon with me now. Mother, can I just use my ability just to switch you out with that other guy? God, son of a bitch. This is where he wasn't expecting Drake to be such a bothersome. But of course, well, Issei, he got towards what's it called, well, the classroom, and of course he kind of just sat down in his seat and just waited for the whole day. But of course, well, in fourth period he was kind of just sitting down and of course listening to his two friends. Mostly Motohama was kind of talking about who would be the beautiful girl and blah blah blah. He's still having that whole purple personality, and it's actually a true purple personality. It's not a cover. Matsumi is kind of showing off his fake one. Mostly it's a cover up because he truly doesn't give a shit. He'd rather be talking about guns, knives, and weapons he might be using, training, practicing. But of course, Motohama is showing off his perverted side. This is where, well, a girl with glasses and greenish eyes appeared with brownish hair. This is where it's none other than the anti-pervert for the perverted trio. This is where, well, she kind of puts her glasses closer and says, so, if it isn't the three perverted, well, mostly the trio of perverts. This is where, well, she kind of just smiles at them. This is where, well, Motohama says, go away, This is where Motohama says, go away, Akia. This is where Akia says, you're so mean, you know that? Truly, you're so mean, Motohama. But still, no one will ever date you because you're such a pervert. This is where, well, then Akia kind of just glances at Matsui and says, still, no one will actually date you neither. The closest one to actually be getting actually a girlfriend, or even two, would be him. She points at what's it called, a leader, and of course, Issei is right now reading a book, and of course hearing music, I should mention. He be hearing the song called, Let the Bodies Hit the Ground. No, just kidding, but he's hearing what's it called, the song called. He's hearing the song from mostly Netflix, the creator, mostly that's how you say it, Neffex, mostly the song called Go, with the quotation mark in the end, but yeah. This is where, well, even if you feel low, you can still go, blah, 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 you get the point, right? Of course, he's listening to that, and of course, he's just kind of reading the book. Pretty much, the book he's reading is none other than the class kind of like giant textbook, but Issei is almost halfway finished. That's how Issei is so bored of the fucking questions that what's it called, Motohama is kind of like asking. This is where, well, Issei kind of glances up and says, what do you want, Akia? This is where, well, Akia says, so, Issei, have you ever thought of getting yourself, well, out of this like trio of perverts and actually getting someone, well, interested? She kind of just has this perverted look, and this is where Issei kind of glances at her. And this is where, well, Issei's eyes is as cold as ever. This is where she knows that Issei's colder than both of the other two. Issei says, seriously, why are you asking me such a dumb question? Clearly, Issei says in his perverted tone saying, what, do you want to be mine? This is where, Akia's face becomes a reddish color because she doesn't think it's a bad idea. This is where, she says no. And this is where Issei says, sure, then we can meet up at the, mostly at lunch break. Want to meet up? You can go to the roof if you want to. This is where, her face is red and says, no, I don't want to. This is where, Issei kind of grins because he's just teasing a little bit. And this is where Issei says, aw, why? Fine, whatever. This is where, Issei gets up and says, well, I should be going then. Issei gets his backpack, mostly the book luggage, and he was about to just get to the classroom that he mostly hangs out, just to ditch the whole day and just kind of be playing video games, until someone opens the door, and this is where, it's none other than Kiba Yuchi, or whatever his goddamn last says, Yuta, or whatever. This is where so many girls are having hearts in their eyes, and this is where Kiba walks up towards Issei, who Issei just got up, and this is where, Kiba says, hello there, Issei, Hiro. May you please come with me towards the, research occult club. Yeah, so, mostly the ORC. This is where, Issei says, no, I have things to do, and I only have time to be going to a club. This is where, Kiba says, can you at least have time? This is where Issei said, fine, I'll go. But Matsu is supposed to mostly come along with me. This is where Kiba growls, but this is where he says he nods. This is where Motohama says, what about me? Issei says, you stay here. This is where, Issei was already pissed off and annoyed. If he comes along, he's just going to ruin all his plans. He knows Matsu is really calm and collected if he's not with Motohama. This is where, Matsu gets up and says, sure, I'll be coming along. This is where he says it in an actual glad tone because, God, Motohama has just been pissing him off with so many questions, perverted. Motohama has what's it called, a bunch of like plus 18 shit in his like room. Issei doesn't have any plus 18. He mostly has a regular looking ass room. Pretty much he has a computer, PlayStation, a lot of games, a lot of what's it called, posters of different games, and also anime. He also be reading manga and other stuff. And Matsumi has a just room full of weapons all around. Fucking knives, swords, guns, whatever. Well, mostly he stays away from guns, but still, they're still good enough. He knows that Issei is also a professional user in guns, but he isn't gonna just kind of ask him if he can borrow some of the guns that he creates out of thin air. Because he won't be able to hold them. Only Issei can. This is where, we go into Issei and Matsu kind of just following Kiba. This is where, Issei kind of looks at Matsu just in case. If anything goes south, just get ready. This is where Matsu understands he does have a gun in his back pouch just in case anything happens. This is where, not a gun, mostly a knife. Well, a knife under his kind of like shoe just in case. And of course his shoes does have knives, like hidden blades in them. This is where he does have a gun in the back, but yeah. This is where, they're going, and of course they meet up with, what's it called, the ORC. This is where, Matsu stood up because he still has a gun in his back and he doesn't want to actually shoot his ass. This is where he stands up still, and this is where Issei sits down on the couch. This is where, he then gets a cup of tea, and this is where, Akane also gives him a cup of tea, mostly Matsu. Matsu says, thank you. He drinks it. Right now, just still standing up. This is where Rias asks him if he would like to sit down. He says, no, I would like to stand up. This is where Rias kind of understand. This is where Issei drinks the tea, and of course, this is where, he kind of has a look of just smiling friendly. Of course, you can barely see his face. Well, mostly his face because his smile. You can barely see it because of his face mask. And thanks to the fact that he has a hood over his head, you can barely see his hair. This is where, mostly you can barely see a stripe of like dark blue navy hair. This is where, Issei said, so, Rias. Yeah, is that your name again? This is where Rias says, yes, the name's Rias Grammary. And you must be Issei Hiro. Yes, I am Issei Hiro. So, what do you like to talk to me about? This is where, Kiba is right now sitting down. Of course, this is where, well, not Kyoko, Kaneko is right now sitting down also next to Kiba, and Akano is just standing next to Rias. And this is where, well, Rias said, "Oh, I'm here to talk about you if you know anything about the supernatural." That's where Issei, he's still calm and collected. His eyes hasn't changed from anything, not even hesitation. He didn't change at all. He looks at Rias and says, "The supernatural? Oh, you're talking about that show. I have heard of the supernatural from that show. Man, those American TV shows are so good." This is where, well, Rias just sweat dropped because she wasn't even talking about that. This is where Matsumi just wanted to burst out laughing because he does know about the supernatural also from the TV show. Because basically, Issei did kind of send that show just because it's really good and other things. And of course, this is where, well, what's it called? Matsumi is just trying not to bust out laughing. This is where, well, Issei said, "That's a pretty good show." So is this a club about talking about movies? Because what kind of shows I like what's it called? Superhero movies, kind of. Mostly, I like Marvel. I don't like DC that much. He kind of just rambles on. This is where Rias. It's not even talking about this shit. This is where, well, she didn't expect this shit to just turn into a 180 talk about movies. This is where, well, Issei said, "So, what kind of movies you like?" Rias says, "I don't really watch movies." Issei says, "Well, that's a shame." He then looks at Kiba and says, "What movies do you watch?" Kiba says, "I don't watch movies." He looks at Kaneko. Kaneko says, "I watch a couple movies, action movies mostly, and also some other movies." That's where Issei nodded. That's where he looks at Akano. Akano says, "Romance drama movies?" This is where Issei says, "Okay." This is where, well, Matsu says, "Bro, you already know what question that is." "Yeah, I know." This is where, well, Issei isn't chuckling. He's just kind of looking at Matsu. Matsu says, "Action movies." This is where, well, Rias switch drops and says, "Yeah, no, I'm talking about like supernatural beings in real life." This is where Issei says, "I guess I believe in ghost stories." This is where Rias smacked her head again, realizing that Issei is denser than ever. No, he doesn't know anything about the supernatural beings, she realized. She doesn't even know if he has a sacred gear, but still, him having skills in like gunsmanship was still pretty good. But still, she wish he had a sacred gear. But still, she says, "Okay, so you know nothing about it." This is where, well, Issei says, "No, I know about it. The supernaturals are like the ghosts of like dead people. They come back, they haunt people." And this is where Issei says, "Okay, never mind. Ignore that question." This is where, well, Issei says, "Okay, so why am I here?" This is where, well, Issei said in a very curious tone, but he already knows why he's here. This is where, well, Ria says, "Well, you're here because, I wanted to know if you would like to join." Issei said, "Sorry, Rias, but I would not like to join. I have things to do, and pretty much staying after school, I'm not a big fan." This is where Rias nodded. This is where she then glanced at Matsu. This is where Matsu says, "I cannot stay neither. I have things also to do, like play video games at home." Which he kind of does, but he doesn't like play video games that much. He'd be training with his weapons. This is where, well, Rias understands. This is where, well, Issei and Matsu kind of disappears, mostly walking out through the door. And this is where Rias drops and just falls down and says, "Seriously? They know nothing. Mostly, Jesus Christ." This is where, well, she says Jesus Christ, like the Lord and name. This is where her head hurts and say, "Ow, ow, ow, son of a bitch." This is where, well, she's quite annoyed with Issei's kind of just knowing nothing, because clearly he fought against two fallen angels, but yet Issei kind of played it so smooth. This is where, well, mostly rambles on with different questions and realized, well, the fallen angels. Rias wanted to call them back, and this is where she then asked Kiba. This is where Kiba said, okay. This is where he kind of rushed outside to meet up with both of them. This is where, Kiba meets up with both of them and says, "Can you two wait? Can you two please come back?" This is where, well, Issei and Matsu kind of came back, and this is where Rias explains about the fallen angels. Issei says, "Those were what? What is a fallen angel?" This is where Rias says, "Oh, you know nothing about it." This is where, well, Rias says, "Okay." She tries to wipe off the memories from Issei and also, well, mostly, what's it called? Matsu. But of course, this is where, well, they look like they don't understand anything why they're here. This is where Ria says, oh, you guys kind of forgot? Okay, well, see you. This is where she tries to push him out. This is where Issei, he says, or Liz. This is where, well, he just remembers everything. Well, he did kind of forget, but Drake managed to force it back into him to remember what happened. And that's where, well, Issei then says, remember. This is where he said a command towards was a call. Matsu also remembers and says, I see. They try to erase our memories. Issei says, of course. I'm looking for them. I can remember so easily. Thank you, Drake. Drake says, no problem. And Issei said, well, we should be going then. This is where, well, they start walking away. And of course, Ria sighs, thinking that she at least wanted gunsmanship, but Issei's too tense. This is where, well, we go into a time skip of, well, mostly Issei being at a park. Issei is just looking at the nice watery lake. Being so quiet out here. It's really quiet. This is where Issei loves the quietness. Until he hears someone fall down and someone say, ow. That's where Issei gets quite annoyed. And looks towards who was it. And of course, this is where they're showing their, what's it called? Well, mostly panties. And of course, Issei sighs and says, hey, are you okay? This is where he ignores the panties. Because first of all, he's not pervert. This is where, well, the girl says, ow. Yeah, I think so. Issei kind of lands his hand towards her. This is where, well, it's none other than, well, Asui, yeah. No, it's Asui? No, it's Azia? Yeah, Azia Argento. And this is where, well, Issei says, can I know your name? This is where, well, she says, Azia Argento. This is where Issei says, Issei Hiro. Why are you wearing a nun dress? This is where, well, she says, oh, I'm just going to the church. I was assigned to go to the church. This is where she says, do you know where that is? This is where he says, what drops and says, yeah, I do. Sure, let's come along. This is where, well, Elsia is coming along, and this is where, well, they're walking, and of course, this is where a kid was her, and this is where, well, Issei appears next to the kid. This is where, well, Issei, even though he does have a cold-ass heart, he's still, well, not, well, let me say that again. He doesn't actually appear next to a kid. Mostly the kid gets healed by Azia. This is where, well, Issei just kind of glances at this and says, healing. Why do I have the feeling to protect her? I would just ignore it. Issei ignores it because, first of all, he doesn't give a shit. This is where, well, Issei says, yeah, the falling, mostly the church is over there and blah, blah, blah. This is where, well, Azia says, thank you. This is where she walks away, but yeah, Issei says, whatever, kid. This is where, well, Issei didn't really care. He didn't fall in love or anything. He just didn't care. Issei then just gets back to the house, but then gets kind of a call from, what's it called? Mostly Murahama says, hey Issei, you wanna hang out for a little bit? Issei says, I swear to God, if it's your perverted fucking day to ask me to say, hey, let's go fucking peep on the girls, I swear to God, I will break all your bones in your body. Muhammad says, no, that's not the case. I just need to visit someone real fast. And besides, they forgot to pay me and stuff. Yeah. This is where Issei switch up and says, fine, I'll be there. This is where he says teleportation. This is where he said the street name. This is where he teleports. Next towards what they call Muhammad. This is where Muhammad says, Jesus Christ, you still scare me with that. Issei says, yeah. So where's the house? This is where they made it to a house. It's pretty big. This is where Issei says, so it's in there? It's pretty dark, and this is where Muhammad says, yeah. He knocks in there. No one answers. Issei just busts down the door. He didn't care. This is where Muhammad says, Issei! This is where, well, Issei says, shut the hell up. Let's just go. I can sense someone's magic, and it's truly not the people that live here. This is where when they go in, they see dead bodies. Issei's not even giving two fucks about the dead bodies. He kind of noticed a guy with silverish hair. Of course, Issei's dark blue, mostly dark navy blue hair and silver highlight is there just looking at this. And mostly Murahama is just seeing this and saying, no, my money, how else am I gonna get paid? This is where, well, he's crying at the dead bodies. And this is where the guy named Frederick says, the name's Frederick, mostly a priest, and I'm here to execute anyone that's a devil worshiper. This is where he's going crazy and blah, blah, blah. That's why I executed those people, because they were, well, making contracts with the devil. Blech. Why would that happen? Blech. Such sinful bastards. That's right, Issei says, sinful. Sinful, interesting. This is where, well, Frederick says, but still, I'm gonna have to kill you guys because you just saw this. Unless you're not with the devils. Issei says, no, we're not with the devils. This is where, well, Issei says, hey, idiot. Stand up and stop crying about your dead fucking friend who didn't pay you. If it makes you feel worth it, I can actually tell where the money will be at. Mostly it should be upstairs and in a safe. Go break it then. This is where Motohama gets up and says, money! This is where, well, Frederick's sweat drops and says, what the? Issei says, you'll be fighting me. And I promise, I won't go easy on you. Issei says, swords. This is where multiple swords appear around Frederick. And Frederick says, wait the fuck a minute. How can you do that? Issei says, don't worry. I'm gonna fucking make you into a pincushion. So don't be afraid. This is where, well, Frederick says, oh shit. This is where he tries to jump away, but this is where, well, multiple swords stab into him. This is where, well, Issei was right now just, well, stabbing upon, what's it called, Frederick? And Frederick says, what the hell are you, brat? Oh, don't worry what I am. This is where, well, Issei then hears a voice of a girl screaming, and this is where he turns around and sees Asuya. Asuya says, what happened? Issei says, your crazy fucking friend over there who's now a pincushion is, well, the one who's responsible for killing these people. And my friend was one who actually sells some stuff here, and that's why we're here. He clearly didn't want to come alone. Idiot. This is where Frederick tried to get up and say, I'm going to kill you. This is where Asuya says, how are you not dead? This is where he says, I would show you. I'm going to kill a bastard like you. He says, holy shit, you didn't die. Even though I turned your ass into a pincushion. So interesting. He smiles this evilish grin. Well, let's see if I'm gonna have to. This is where a symbol of a magic circle appears. Red circle, and this is where Issei says, son of a bitch. This is where, well, he tells Asuya to stay here, and this is where Issei then runs off. This is where Issei is trying to get towards his friend. This is where he then sees his friend manage to get the safe out, and was about to punch it with his sacred gear, and this is where Issei says, stop it. Right now we gotta leave. Take your fucking safe and let's get out of here. This is where, well, mostly Motohama just looks confused, and this is where mostly the black dragon inside him says, idiot, we gotta go. It seems devils are coming. This is where mostly Issei says, son of a bitch, we gotta go. This is where Issei grabs Motohama and says, force teleports to home. This is where, well, he teleports, what's it called? Well, mostly not force teleport. Well, it is called force teleport, but yeah. This is where, well, they both teleport out of there, but yeah. This is where when Rhea shows up, and this is where when Kiba shows up, and also Kaneko and Akana, they're confused with Frederick. Frederick is trying to attack Asuya. This is where Asuya is confused. She doesn't know why he told him that command. But mostly when they showed up from that magic circle, she can actually move freely now. She's confused. She doesn't know why Issei did that. This is where Issei, he did that as a command just so she wouldn't move. And this scene would just look like she did it. But she didn't do it on purpose. But of course the swords disappear after a while. This is where he says, that motherfucking bastard. This is where, well, Kiba says, you're going to have to die. This is where, well, Frederick swings his light sword out with holy sword at Kiba. Kiba managed to die. This is where Frederick says, I'm not dying here. This is where he sends a smoke bomb and dissipates. This is where, well, Kiba and the others say, damn it. This is where Asuya says, what just happened? This is where, well, she's confused, she's a nun, and of course Rhea says, shit. This is where, well, Asuya says, I thought he was a good person. Where's... She's trying to remember his name, but of course she passes out because there was a lot of shit going on. This is where, well, Rhea says, damn, we can't leave her here. This is where she does tell Akano to kind of pick her up, but yeah. Or mostly Kaneko, but yeah. This is where Kiba says, damn, why did he have so many holes in his body? He then asks what to call the others. This is where they don't even know. Could it be Asuya or could it be someone else? They did feel an energy mostly when they were coming over here, but they felt it's such a lingering, mostly there was an energy there, but of course he managed to just run. Thinking, well, they probably already know that they're already devils. That's why Rhea doesn't know, but she had a similar energy presence to that of Issei. but she doesn't understand why Issei was there. This is where Kiba managed to open the safe in Issei's like house, mostly room, and this is where he says, "Money, now I can buy more plus 18 shit." This is where Issei says, yeah. You almost screwed us both. Luckily, I managed to stop you from using the sacred gear. Because if you did, Rias would have found out, and that shit would have been such a troublesome idea on how to explain that. Well, we managed to escape. Now that you have your money, get the fuck out of my room, Issei said in such a stern voice. This is where, Matsuhama says, yeah, I understand. This is where, Issei says, before you go, hey, Black Dragon. Black Dragon says, yo, what do you want? Issei said, how perverted are you? The Black Dragon says, not really. I've never had mates like Drake. This is where Issei says, good. You want to switch? Because I don't want Drake no more. Drake says, hey, let's talk about this. He already has a glowing green color. Of course, Issei made a silent barrier around his spoon, so no one will hear them. This is where, Hama says, but I want the Black Dragon. This is where, the Black Dragon says, get me out of here. This motherfucker won't stop watching that shit, that plus 18. This is where, he says, that plus 18 and those fucking perverted dreams. Get me out of here. This is where, Hama says, why, man? Why you gotta leave me? This is where, he says, I would trade you for Drake, but I can see Drake is not wanting to go neither. I don't know. I might be able to force us to switch souls, but then again, I might accidentally be in his soul, and you might have my abilities. So I'd rather not try that out. This is where, Black Dragon cries and says, I wanna just leave. Please get me out of here. This is where, mostly, what's it called? Matsuhama says, really? You wanna leave? But what about all the good shit that have we seen? Mostly you've been seeing nothing but just this shit. I don't want to be here. Please, just get me out of here. And I can also be with your other friend. At least he's not a pervert like this idiot. That's right, Issei says, yeah. Issei then kind of puts his hand over, mostly his hand on Moto's Hama's shoulder and says, force teleport back to house. This is where he teleports him back to his own house. But yeah, this is where the Black Dragon says, no. But yeah, his mind escape. This is where Matsuhama just sweat drops, but yeah. This is where Issei says, well, other than that, Drake, learn your lesson or I'm gonna find a way to just get you out of my body. I don't care if I have to rip my soul out just to take you out. This is where Drake says, come on, kid. It's not that bad, is it? Yes, it is. And you are one of the most annoying people. So God, for the love of God, don't piss me off. This is where, Drake says, come on, kid. I'm not that bad, am I? No, not that bad, my ass. This is where, the next day happens. But of course, where, Issei kind of, meets up with, Azo. And Azo does kind of talk to him. Of course, they're in the kitchen. They're kind of speaking very quietly. Now, of course, where mostly Azo's kind of daughters are kind of hearing this. And this is where Issei says, hey, shut up. This is where, Azo says, daughters, do you need something? This is where they're kind of shocked to believe that Issei must have heard them. But this is where Issei didn't say shut up. He mostly puts his hand towards his mouth to tell him to shut up. This is where, Azo says, yes, my daughters, I know you're there. What are you trying to hear? This is where, Valerie gets outside and says, I'm trying to hear that he knows a little bit about the supernatural. She points at Issei. Issei says, supernatural, what are you talking about? This is where, what is the supernatural? This is where Issei says, oh, I know what you're talking about now. You're talking about that one show, Supernatural. This is where, where's it called? Valerie says, no, that's not the show I'm talking. Oh my god. This is where, he doesn't want to just giggle also because he has watched that shit. This is where, Valerie says, no, you know what these are. This is where she shows off her demonic wings. This is where Issei says, whoa, shit, I didn't know you were a cosplayer. That's a nice cosplay. This is where, Ezra just wanted to just tell Issei to shut the fuck up. This is dumb enough. This is where, Rainier and also, her other sister and her friend actually show off her wings. Mostly Rainier doesn't actually just have 2 wings. She actually has 6 in total. And this is where, well, the blondish hair girl, the little one, kind of shows off 2 wings, and mostly then her older sister, mostly the blondish hair one, kind of shows off her mostly 6 wings. Issei says, "Shit, you're all cosplayers? Damn, that's nice." This is where Alzo says, "Okay, shut the fuck up, Issei, shut the fuck up." Issei says, "Damn." This is where, well, Elzo is just dying laughing. He can't stop laughing. This is where, well, the others are just confused. Elzo says, "Yes, Issei does know about the supernatural. He's been just playing with everyone here. He does know I'm also the leader of the fallen angel." This is where they're all shocked. This is where Issei says, "Why you gotta tell them? Now I gotta erase their memories. Or I can do this. Swords." This is where swords appear all around them. This is where Elsa says, "Stop trying to threaten my daughters. If you want to threaten them into marriage, just ask them about that." This is where Issei's face becomes red and says, "What?" This is where the girls also said, "What?" This is where, well, they glare at Azo, and even Issei glares at him with a murderous glare, like all the swords point at Azo now. This is where Azo says, chill. I'm just kidding, kid. I'm just kidding. Jesus Christ. I'm also kidding, girls." This is where, well, Issei kind of just dissipates the swords and says, "Jesus Christ, do you really gotta tell them about my abilities? But then again, you're the one to summon the swords, and I will send the swords at you. Do you want me to do that?" Elsa says, "Nah, I'm just kidding, kid. Shit, don't try to kill me. Please. I beg of you, don't kill me." Issei says, "Screw you." This is where the girls kind of just glance at Issei, and Issei said, "What? What, have you never heard of someone..." Well, Issei then grins with this evil smile. "Well, have you never heard of someone managing to make swords out of thin air? Or even do this? Ice. Freezing place." This is where, well, he said a command. This is where all of them freezes and ice started appearing. This is where, well, he then says unfreeze. This is where they all unfreeze. This is where, well, they're shocked. Issei says, "The ability that I have isn't supernatural, actually. I'm mostly an abnormal. Something that some humans have, but they're mostly in a different country. But not the point. I'm called an abnormal. And since I'm an abnormal, I can do a lot of crazy shit that normal human can't do, since I am not normal. Well, other than that, if that's all you want to know about me, then you just gotta know that I have the abilities to command people to kill themselves, or freeze them with just making ice out of nowhere, or even have the ability to say no to death." Or, well, he doesn't say no to death, he just said those commands. Because if he ever gets stabbed, he's going to show off that he can't die. Literally, Kamagawa can't literally die in, well, his kind of anime verse. Literally, he has the ability to just say no. And just erase. He can just say no to magic. He can say no to, colors. He can basically say no to his death. Literally just says no to his death and he can't die. He's immortal now. He can say, "No, you're not a god," and you're no longer a god. He can say, "No, you're not a devil," and you're no longer a devil, and you might have to be substituted into something else. Either a fallen angel or an angel. He can then say, "No, you're not a fallen angel," and you'll be substituted into an angel. "No, you're not an angel," you'll be substituted into a human. "No, you're nothing," and then you disappear. But yeah, he can just do all that. That's how Kamagawa kind of has his abilities. Now, I did kind of take, abilities from Togo and also Zagret, since they have abilities to kind of do commands. Mostly, Togo has the ability to say blast away. He also might have the ability to say kill yourself, and you will have to kill yourself. Mostly Zagret has the ability to summon weapons, or summon anything, or just do a lot of shit, but yeah. So yeah, that's mostly what Issei's abilities are. Now, of course, with that happening, this is where they're shocked, and Issei said, "Damn, you really have to tell them my secrets. Whatever." This is where Issei says, "Well, I should be going then." Issei stands up and says, "Teleport home. Bye." This is where he's gone. This is where, well, that was a sweat rose, but yeah. This is where all the girls scream out, "What?" And this is where they wake up about 2 or mostly 3 other people. This is where they get out of the rooms and say, "Why are you guys screaming this early?" It's like 5 o'clock, and yeah, Issei and Elsa were talking since they were, when it was 4. This is where, well, mostly a guy with blondish hair is having glass and it's just sweat dropping in. yawning also. A guy with kind of a monkey tail, and he basically is the son of Wukong. He's just sweating drop and also just yawning, also tired. A girl with blackish hair and cat ears and having two cat tails says, "What are you girls dreaming about? Jesus Christ, just shut up. My head hurts." This is where another girl kind of appears, and she has blonde hair, similar to her, well, mostly similar to the other boy that had glasses. And of course have a similar face structure because she is basically the sister of Arthur. This is where he says, "Oh, my head. I'm tired." She falls back to sleep, but on the ground. Arthur picks her up and kind of puts her back into her bed. But yeah, Arthur says, "What are you all screaming about?" This is where Valerie kind of says, "This motherfucker been lying about the boy with kind of the darkish blue hair." This is where Biko says, "Who, Issei?" "Yes, he had abilities that we didn't know. Abilities that he knows about the supernatural and other things." Biko says, "Oh, shit. So he already told you?" This is where Valerie says, "What?" She just glares at Biko, and Biko says, "Shit, I should have said nothing." This is where Arthur says, "Yes, he already knows about the supernatural. He already knows about who I am. I am Arthur Pendragon. He already knows about that. He already knows about Biko being the son of the Wukong. And he knows about, well, I forgot her name. Mostly, he already knows about Kuraka being a Nakamoto. So, yeah. This is where Issei already knows about that. Of course, he doesn't care because we already know he's an anomaly, mostly an abnormal. So, of course, we don't really care what he does most of the time. This is where Valerie gets annoyed and was about to just kill them all because, well, first of all, why didn't they tell her anything? They're basically, well, mostly, they were supposed to tell some stuff to her. This is where, as I say, the reason why they didn't tell you anything is because I'm the one to tell them to not tell you anything. The reason why I told them that is because I don't want you to actually spread the rumor in his school. He might be one of the trio pervert, but that's only a cover-up. Pretty much his 3 friends aren't perverts. Well, one of them is a pervert. The other 2, mostly Issei and the other, aren't perverts. But I'm not going to mention which one is not the pervert because, well, I don't want you to bother them. I don't want you to expose them, and I don't want you to get involved with their lives. Pretty much Issei always just stays out of trouble because he wants a quiet, peaceful life. That's why he already knows about the 4 devils that are in the school, the 4 top main devils, mostly the queens. But of course, he doesn't want to be bothered by them. Of course, is where his other friend, one who's a maniac in weapons, Biku says, "And I like him, man. He's one of the strongest, what's it called, fighters and using a bow staff. Damn, he's pretty good." This is where, well, as I say, like I said, he's a, what's it called, weapon maniac. And then there's her last friend who has a sacred gear that I'm not going to mention to you because I know you're going to try to fight him. This is where, well, she says, "What does he have?" This is where, well, as I say, not telling you. Now, other than that, you should probably be getting to sleep because school is tomorrow. And don't you dare bother him, Valerie. I know you're going to try to do that. Don't bother Issei. Issei doesn't want to fight you. If he does have to fight you, he will have to destroy you and humiliate you in the middle of school. This is where, well, Valerie just kind of grunts and kind of scoffs and says, "Fine. I won't bother him. I promise." Elsa says, "Good. You too, Rainer, and also you too, Junko. I do not want you to bother him. Understood?" This is where, well, Junko and Rainer says, "Yes. Yes, father." This is where, well, he then looks at the blondish hair girl and says, You're going back with the fallen angels. Unless you want to stay with Rainer." She said, "I'll be going with Rainer. Sir, please." This is where, well, this is where Elsa says, "You still also know the command. You have a rule and you will not break it unless you want me to kill you." This is where, well, she understands. This is where, well, Elsa sighs. Damn it, kid. I hate it. I can't believe I have to tell them your secret. I know you're gonna hate me for this. Issei already has a bad feeling about what Elsa told him. That's where Issei just hates himself. Fuck. I should have given him a private location to talk to. Shit. Now they know about my secret. That's where Drake says, "It's not that bad. They are kind of really beautiful. You should take them on. this is where Drake is going on and rambling on. Issei says, shut the fuck up. You want to disconnect this link. This is where, well, Drake says, no. He's just gone. Issei said, I need to take a nap. This is where Issei takes a nap. Well, mostly asleep, a nap before school starts. But yeah, this is where Issei says, whatever. But this is where I'm going to leave it off. For, well, part 1 of What If Issei was the quiet kid. Kinda. Well, it is the quiet kid. He mostly doesn't show off that many emotions, and yeah. So, of course, he does have a secret life. Now, that's not the point. There are some characters I might be adding later, but for right now, I'm going to just end it off here. Part 2 might come. I did it for 1 hour and 45 minutes. I tried to do it for a movie or just a one-shot, but then I just realized that, I might continue this on. Just fuck it, why not? But other than that, then I gotta go. Bye, and see you.